Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to your Sunday Tonic conversation with the Love Crusader. And it promises to be another exciting episode today. It's another love seat, one of my favorite part of our conversation, because love seat is when you get personal. We go down and we get personal. So I get to bring to you a lovely couple, a husband and a wife, in this age where marriage is, going somehow. They come to tell us what makes them tick, why they are still husband and wife. And maybe, just maybe, one person might just like their love story and be encouraged that, marriage is still worth it. Because what we are hearing these days, the Lord help us, why am I fast forwarding? Welcome. If this is your first time on this platform, this is what we call Conversation with the Love Crusader. We have fun conversations about relationships, about family, about love, and about life. And we are always live every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. on YouTube at Men Fences TV, on Facebook at Men Fences, and on my personal profile on LinkedIn. So follow us on all of these platforms so you don't miss any of our episodes. All right, down to introductions. My co-host Emmanuel is here. We've missed him.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back. We're going to have a great time today.
Yes, we will. We will. And oh, yes, now to the very special couple that we have on the love seat. We started this thing calling it the hot seat. And then inspiration came to us that Ambanu. It's not hot, it's love. Everything about us is love. Everything about this platform is love. It's why I'm called the Love Crusader. We are here to just talk love. Do love, be love, and everything is love. So welcome to our love seat, David and Sarah Obayojie.
Thank you.
The conodrum and the prophetess. Say what to the people. Welcome, David. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate this opportunity. We don't take it lightly, and we're grateful. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are welcome. David and Sarah are proud fathers of two lovely daughters. They are going to tell you that story, so I won't do the storytelling. That is why they are here. And on the love seat, we always have three compulsory questions. Two first at the beginning, and then one at the end. But in the middle, we have all of the ones that you have to choose by yourself. We don't want to put you in a tight corner. The one that just have fun and be real and be yourself. Okay. Let's get down to it. Very, very first question: how did you meet? Simple. You see? How did you meet? Who wants to tell us, David or Sarah?
Okay. We grew up together. I started knowing Sarah at some point. I think CBLC started in 1996, and it was until 97 or late 96 that your dad brought you to Abuja. So as at that time, there was no children church yet, so they just came as little, children. Her elder brother is one of my bosom friends, so we were really close. Lukman, growing up together, playing video games, and just messing around. And he had a younger brother and two younger sisters. His house at some point growing up was our center for PlayStation and all the games. So Um, we just grew up as a family, you know. We did everything together in church. So, as much as possible, I would say she grew up like a sister to me, you know, because as at when we were even talking of marriage and
Sister,
all that,
sister, brother,
we,
brother. Okay.
we had
Mhm.
known, we had known, we had known ourselves almost all our lives because this, I'm talking about 97. She was probably about 8 or 9 years old and I
Ah,
was about yes. So we didn't like ourselves growing up. So it's not as if we were close all along.
okay.
But however, we've known ourselves. So there was no place where we met for the first time because all our lives we grew up together.
So how did the toasting happen? If you grew up together all your life, how did the toasting happen, Sister Sarah? How did sister? Because now I say you were like a sister. Oh, how did sister now become wife?
The long story. Oh.
Ah, please
What is that?
summarize it. We have we have a very
Um,
short time.
let me take it back. Okay. I think this was in 2010,
Okay.
and we there was a wedding in church where I had to be the bridesmaid, and he was the best man in the
Ah,
wedding.
God bless
Yeah,
that person that wedded that day. Okay, go on. Interesting.
and it was like he mentioned something like I'll marry you or something like that. It was because my husband is a very funny person and he jokes a lot. So he just said it in passing, and I was like, "Who's this one?" Like,
You
then
know,
yeah, then he asked me, I don't know, you asked me if I had someone. I said yes, I'm in a relationship. And it was like that relationship will end. It's going to pray for the relationship to end. I was like, what's wrong with this
Use the
one?
right word. I said she scatter.
Okay. So I think 6 to 7 months after that wedding, he um as at that time the wedding had I said the wedding, the relationship had ended naturally. This character had just ended. And then
whichever way, somebody left the way for somebody to come in. Go on.
yeah, and then he came and asked me, one particular, because we're both in the same choir, and then one particular rehearsal, after the rehearsals, he said, um, if he could drop me at home. So why not? That was when we started talking, and he asked me uh, if I was still in a relationship. I was like, no, the relationship, I'd even forgotten about the joke he made
The
at the
prophecy.
wedding.
Hallelujah.
So when when he dropped me at home, he now said, Sarah, I will marry you. I'm like, who's this one? Like, what audacity? Why? And then after that, we started talking. Before then, we don't talk at all. Like, me and him don't sit down to talk. But after that day, send ourselves messages. How are you? How is it going? Blah blah blah. So kept on saying that he would like to. He didn't really even say he wants me to be his girlfriend. He said he wants to marry me. I'm like, what's wrong with, like, is that how they do things? That's not how they do things. Like, then okay, now say let's just be friends. I told him let's just be friends. Um, I went as far as asking my siblings, like, what do you think about this guy? Oh, this is David Obayojie, pastor's son. Like he's becoming serious. So he's always sending me messages, calling me, coming to the house more often. I knew he used to come to the house before, but at a time, especially the period I left school and all that, oh, he stopped coming. So all of a sudden he started coming again. And it's not as if my brothers were always around to play game. He'll just be coming to visit. I'm like, "Ah, this guy, what's it? Then we started talking. And then I finally said, okay, let's start something. And he told me this was in 2011. He said, this is 2011. We'll get married in 2014. Give me 3 years. So I'm like, see you, see you. So everything just started as a joke, Sha. And then um before we knew it, love started falling inside the whole mix, and then the rest is history. 2014, we got married, and here we are.
Man, this is a very, very fantastic story. Somebody might think I should know this, but I don't. So, David, eh? You just saw a sister. You don't even say, sister, can I get to know you? It's I will marry you. I will marry you. Okay, second compulsory question. I didn't create it. It has been here. It's David that has to answer this now, because now it was obviously that David was the pursuer, the professor in 3 years' time. What was the attraction, David? What attracted you? What made you social?
Okay. I schooled in Abuja University, and I had one or two relationships that were not so wonderful. The experiences, sometimes when I gist with my father will tell me, "Who sent you? Na school I sent you go." I miss my dad. All right, so it wasn't so wonderful, the experiences I had, and for a very long time I've been noticing Sarah. She was very, very industrious, very in the youth fellowship in church. She was a secretary, while I took several roles, and most of the times we were both the most consistent, because Sarah was very, very consistent in everything she did. And I just like the fact that she was a fantastic organizer. Almost anything you put in her hand will not spoil. She goes to extra lengths to make sure everything we had to do was a success. I like the fact that in her house, she was like assistant mommy. She was looking out for everybody. Lukman is my friend. Lukman is similar in age and everything. She's younger than us, but she was always looking out for even Lukman, my other brother, looking out for everyone. She was like assistant to her dad, because as at that period was when her mom was still in the UK. So I was attracted to the maturity. I was attracted to she was displaying mommy virtues that I felt I needed, because I was just a baby boy that had a lot of play and jumping up and down in his head. I needed somebody that was calmer, somebody that was more mature, which she is, and somebody who will always bring my head down and say, pay attention, because sometimes I don't. So there were lots of virtues in her. Obviously, she's a beauty, very, very beautiful woman. She has the physical attributes I needed, and so you said, it's not all you have. Nobody's perfect. Eh, but she just filled in. And I had several things. The reason it looked as though my plans for the marriage and everything looked like a prayer or looked like prophecy was I had a plan. I had come. I had English. Sorry, I came out from things that were not so wonderful. So I had times where I had prayed seriously, and I had taken it to the spiritual levels of prayer to say, okay, this is what I want, God. This is the nature of the kind of woman. This is my plan. Because at the time I was even asking her out, I had not gone for NYSC. I had not gone for NYSC while she has finished NYSC and was already working.
Hmm.
She had finished NYSC and she was already working. I had not gone for NYSC. So even if I was her senior in age, she was faster, because you know how Nigerian system is. I went to Abuja University. She went to a private school. So it was faster for her. So it was just God. That's what I was saying. So if you're asking me what attracted me to her, I had the things listed to say, okay, God, this is what I want from you. But I prayerfully looked for those virtues, and she was the only one among my circle, because as a pastor's child and all that, my circle would likely be people in church and all that after school, and she was just the obvious only one that fit into that prayer chart I had.
Wow. Fantastic.
I have a follow-up question to that.
Please
Actually,
go on.
for each of you. This has been a beautiful story. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing, actually.
Yes.
I'm just knowing this for the first time too.
You
So
see?
wonderful. I think my question is, at what point did you become convinced that it was David? And at what point did you become convinced that it was Sarah? Was there a specific thing that happened? or a specific season, maybe in your life, maybe it was personal, something going on with you personally, and you got to the point and said, okay, I'm convinced it's her and no one else. So did you have that kind of point, and what was that point for both of you, each of you?
Okay, I think mine came first before her own. So let me answer first because I was the one that was firstly English. I was the first to be convinced. Um, about the wedding we had in 2010, I was joking with her, but at the same time, I had some level of seriousness. But because at this period, male pride and all that, I don't want to fall my hand, so you can't just jump into something without getting information to know that there's something to jump into. So I was using code and normal street sense to find out what's going on in her life because we're still friends, even if these times we're now beginning to talk small, we'll see ourselves, we'll gist, to do things together in youth fellowship, not like before where we were not talking. So, but when I was convinced was the Easter camp, the week before the week I asked her out. That's Easter camp. And she was part of the people in choir that they gave the responsibility to, always go and get our food for choir, go and take care of people and all that. I was everywhere. You know how Easter camp can be. People are Easter camp people. So I was everywhere. Most of the times I was going to skip meals. And throughout that Easter camp, she was just consistently keeping my own meals for me. She started on the first day, she was sent, you know, like an
Mm,
errand. Then she just
mm,
continued it. She just
mm.
continued it after that time. And what that did to me, what that did to my head or something, because sincerely, she was already in my head before even this Easter camp. So what that did to my head was this lady that you've had attraction for, you've been praying about and all that. Why don't you just probably have, a conversation with her to just find out what is the state of things and all that. And that story she gave, there's a little difference. So I will edit it small because what happened was we came for rehearsal after the Easter camp. Like I said, it was my head. And we came for rehearsal, and almost all the choir members came late. And it was mostly like that then, So I came for rehearsal that's the week after, the next Saturday. And most times after the Easter camp program, lots of people are tired or something. So it was maybe that's why most of them came late. And I went to church and I met Sarah. She was already sitting in the choir seat. We started talking. And that was when I actually asked her the question of, okay, how far? That's my, I told you that thing will scatter. Has it scattered yet? You know, I was like, which thing? Something that I've ended six. I said, you didn't tell me. By now, we would have moved far with our life. I told you that we're going to get married. I was like, what's wrong with you? This now, that moment, I followed her home. We spoke for long, and I was already convinced. The reason being that, like I tell her every time, and like I tell people, I felt like I was back home, or I felt home in my spirit.
Okay.
I had never been so comfortable and felt a calmness, English, a
Mhm.
calmness, like I was home with the way I felt to Sarah. And sincerely, Sarah was not the first lady I've been close to. Yes, I've had many ladies I've been close to, not necessarily relationship, but you know me, I'm very playful. So I've just been everywhere. But what Sarah brought to my life that evening was a calmness I have never experienced in my life before. And I felt like home. She felt to me like an Obayojie. I don't know how to explain it. She felt to me like the younger sister I never had. So I
Oh,
just knew that this was something that I'm not going to play with. This was not a discussion of boyfriend, girlfriend. From that day one, I started making plans with
issue.
her.
Yeah.
Plans about 2014 and how we'll go about 2014. And
Okay. Summary,
that's it.
please, Sister Sarah, because there's still a lot to
So
get
Sarah,
through.
yeah.
Oh,
So I just wanted to ask him. So it's food that made you make.
Oh my goodness, Sarah, you couldn't
it's a
disappoint
very,
me.
very important thing. Oh. This Africa, they say it's one way to show an African man that you care. You have to
Oh
cook
yeah.
food. So for you to, sister, you are a very wonderful sister. Well done, hardworking sister. In
Okay.
the kitchen department, going to keep food for a brother. Sisters who are still single, are you hearing? They are dropping pointers. Attend camp meeting. Keep food for a brother. Don't just go there and squeeze your face and
Go
not
for Riaza early.
go. That's what I like most. It's good to be punctual. Go early, don't go late. Oh, okay. So I say your own very quickly before we move
Um,
on.
Mine was a bit different. First of all, um I don't want to sound very spiritual, but the truth was that I prayed very much about it, and this prayer is something I've been praying for a long time, even before not met, even before we started dating, and I kept on praying that prayer, and my prayer was always, if it's not your will, let this thing just end. I don't want to go too deep into this relationship and at the end of the day become something else. As you know. So when I knew and I was convinced that he was the one, um I saw some attributes in him that I felt, okay, this is someone that um I would need in my life. He was more financially prudent than I was. He knew how to keep money. He knew how to um what do you call it,
Analyze.
analyze. He's a very intelligent person as well, and I like to see myself as a saposexual person, someone that's attracted to the mind. I was very attracted to his mind as well, and I saw him as someone that could lead me. I didn't want someone that I'll be telling what to do all the time. I needed someone that could lead, and I would say, okay, what you're saying makes sense.
Hmm.
So during the period of our relationship, those were the things that I saw. I was like, okay. So it was not just one event that happened that made me say this is the person. It was over the period of time, and those were the things that made me say yes, this is
I like
him.
that. I like that last point, and I'm very fascinated by it. And unfortunately, it's a big challenge for a lot of guys these days. Even today, after church service, I and Titi were just having a conversation, and we're talking about what sisters are going through, the kind of brothers and men. I'm sorry, I'm not bashing guys. That, a lot of them are meeting these days. I mean, I have a grown daughter. She comes back and tells me some conversation with some people. You don't know maturity in the conversation. There's no, that intelligence, like you're saying now, somebody should be able to match your intelligence, someone that can lead. Okay, let me not, because now I'm going to start preaching a sermon and then the whole time will go. All right, let's go into the fun questions. This is my fun part of it, because now you're
Okay.
choosing your questions for yourself, and whatever you get is your choice. It is not me. I'm not the one forcing the question now. Question 1
All
to
right.
20, pick a number.
Together or
Any
individually?
number you like, whoever
Number one.
both of you will answer. 1. Number 1. That's all right.
Hey.
So please, let's summarize so that we can answer as many questions as is possible. Because some of the questions might sound like it's long, but we just want you to hit the nail on the head, okay? Question 1
Mhm.
says, what was your worst fight about? First of all, how long have you people been married? Let people hear. How long have you been married?
It will be 9 years in September.
Wonderful. You guys didn't
Oh,
get
that's
Congratulations.
just
right.
9 years.
9 years. Good job. Well done. Now, how time
Thank you,
flies.
Nina.
Okay. Anyway, so listen, in this 9 years, what has your
Oh, the
worst
list of
fight
all like
been about, and what 3 lessons did you learn from it?
okay, I'll answer this one.
Thank you.
I was just asking. The worst one was during the lockdown period. That lockdown was a trying period because we're always at each other's face all the time, 247.
Good.
And I think that period it was always playing video games. And then me, I was always playing game too on my phone. And I was also burdened with the fact that I need to clean, cook, 247, morning food, afternoon food, evening food for the children, for him. So it became too much for me at a point. So I think our wedding album, the children took it and tore it or something. And I was with them, so I wasn't concentrating, and he became very angry about it. Like, what I did. That's when I now brought it up. But you're always playing game. So the thing escalated, and we didn't talk for like a week. That was the first time that kind of thing happened. I was staying in one room, he was staying in another room,
Wow.
and I was like, the devil was telling him, "Don't you're always asking for, you're always apologizing. Don't do it." Me, my strong head, I was like, this thing, I'm not going to apologize. So for like a week, we didn't talk to each other in that house. And it's unlike him because he does not know how to keep malice. So like, so that very time, I think we had one service like that. That was when the lockdown was easing up a bit. So I went to church and I was like, this is unlike David. This one is devil's hand that is inside this thing. So so that day after church evening program, I now went home and I went to apologize to him and everything. It was a very serious because it brought out a lot of things that we're both keeping in our minds, and the argument brought it out, and so that was like the most. We've never had that kind of fight that for a whole week we won't talk to each other at all. So that was, and what I learned from that was is that don't take people for granted. The fact that it's always apologizing, that doesn't mean that you take that for granted. Always apologize too. And even if you feel you are, because till tomorrow I still feel I was not wrong. But even if you feel you are wrong, you are right, go and apologize. So that's what I got from that fight.
Okay, David, don't tell us what caused the fight. We already know what caused the fight. What did you learn from the fight?
Wow, we've had so many fights, so but
That
that
That's
was
the
one
one for her. Yeah.
that's I think that's the strongest for her because of the way I acted. But I can't remember the details of. I know what I learned in that period was, like she said, I've always felt as the leader of the home, I should always serve. And because of that, I try to kill my pride anytime we have any disagreement, and I'm always first to apologize. The reason is I don't even know how to sleep in the same house carrying face with somebody. What if devil touch her in the night, she carry a knife and pick my neck, and I just die for nothing? So yeah, that's on a lighter mood. Sorry, she has told you I can be. You will know me. You're my siblings. You know how I can be. So I'm sorry. Let me be serious again.
Sorry, go on, be yourself.
So let me be serious. Let me be serious again. All I'm trying to say is I don't know how to carry that weight because it's just too heavy for my chest. So as much as possible, I like us to sit down. My apologies are always coming with some kind of conversation, and I apologize. So I think what that particular episode, like you said, explained to her and also myself is maybe not to take each other for granted. And from my own perspective, I should also not expect perfection all the time because things can go south, and I should reduce the way I blame people when things go south because it's one major weakness I know I've had.
Mm,
So is it safe to say then that domestic roles and responsibilities may have been what triggered your worst fight? Yeah.
That's the one that's, like I said, the one that particular one. Like we've had many fights, and
Okay.
for me, I have other ones that I can just remember as a flash, like worse. But
Okay.
yes, I wouldn't say domestic roles. How do I say this? There are other things, but yes,
I
it's one of
understand you. Don't mind
it. Yeah.
Emmanuel. Don't
Yes.
mind Emmanuel. We can't talk about all the fights here today. We
Of
will not
course.
blow.
Yes, exactly. So, but
But
one of the worst fights we had, domestic roles. Yes. Yeah.
the one Sarah has picked, that's what we can pick from it, that it was from, the roles. One person just, I think it wasn't just about the roles, it was about one person not feeling the other person's help. That teamness or teamwork was not there. And that's the time you're talking about during the lockdown was a very testing time for a lot of couples. Counselors and counseling tripled. Marriages, divorce was on one of the highest rise because for a lot of people, running out of the house in the morning, you run out, you come back in the evening, you miss yourself. It was helpful. But now when they had to really sit together, they now saw some really, really ugly sides of
Yeah.
each other for so long, and it was a testing time. Well, thank God. You see, the thing is, there would be fights. That's the essence of this question. Because when we say 9 years, now somebody will say, oh my God, they did 9 years. years doesn't mean that all the 9 years Sarah was smiling and all the 9 years David was smiling. But they are still here. They've had the fight, they've made up, and they are still here. So don't let that fight end your relationship. All
And
right.
just to add something, I know you want to go. We hardly fight, so please, so that people will not. Because there was a time I heard some people say it's normal for couples to fight all the time. I don't subscribe to that. We hardly fight.
You hardly
Right now,
fight.
yeah, we hardly fight.
That's
We
nice.
yeah.
That's interesting. Fantastic. Okay. One more question before we go on a short break.
Pick a number.
Pick a number. Now,
Okay.
2 to
25.
20. Oh. Question 5. This one is very simple. 3 words. 3 words answer. So, give us 3 words that describe your partner. Describe your partner in 3 words.
Intelligent,
1,
leadership,
a leader. 2,
and giving.
giver, generous. Okay. 3, intelligent, leader, giver. David, only you. All right, give us your own, brother David.
Sister Sarah. No,
Hey.
okay. I will start with Sarah is consistent.
Consistent.
Yes. Sarah is extremely a lot. Say just 3 words, David. That's cool. Okay.
Consistent.
Okay.
2,
Consistent, brilliant, hardworking.
consistent, brilliant, hardworking. Wow. Fantastic. Intelligent, leader. Intelligent, leader, generous. Consistent, hardworking, intelligent. So intelligence, jam intelligence.
Brilliant.
I'm very sure that
No,
you must have.
I'm brilliant. Is intelligent. So.
Oh, you are brilliant. She's intelligent. Okay. All this is Oyibo. Nice words. Hold it. We'll take a short break. Watch our banner. Go and subscribe if you've not subscribed to our pages, so you don't miss any of our shows when we are live. See you in a few seconds. Welcome back. We are back, and it is Conversations with the Love Crusader. Today, we are on the love seat with David and Sarah Obayojie. I'll tell you something later at the end. I don't want to say it now and spoil, how do they call it, the suspense of the show. But anyways, welcome back, David and Sarah. So we are at the fun questions where David and Sarah are picking their questions, and they have already picked only 2 out of the 20 we have. Okay, let's see where we can go. Yes, next question. Who wants to pick it?
16.
Long. I like this question. Okay, the question number 16. Please, one thing. When we say 1, stick to 1. Don't say 2, 3, 4. Brother David, one thing. So think very well. Question 16. What is the one thing about your upbringing that is shaping your marriage today? Whether it is something you learned from your father or your mother, something you saw in your parents' marriage that you don't want to happen to you, or something you learned as a child, and that is what is shaping how you see your marriage and how you handle your marriage today. One. I know there might be a lot, but just one, please. Thank you.
Mine is simple. Mine is so simple, and I think every man in my father's house has this responsibility. My
Hmm.
father keeps saying responsibility is the true meaning of love for a man. So that has shaped
Fantastic.
us.
Fantastic. That sense of responsibility. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to type that in. A sense of responsibility. That's what makes a man a head, actually. And this is what we tell man. There's no need for you to be bragging about being the head of a home. If you actually do it, and I think that is why Sarah always talk. Okay, Sarah told us leadership. You see, people. Hey, men and brethren who are watching, you see, this thing is not hard. We always say it that if you provide the leadership, sister will submit. It will not be hard. But when there's nothing to submit to, why am I preaching? Sister Sarah, tell us your own.
Uh, Mine is what do you call it? Working together. I always saw my parents
Operation?
doing things together. Yeah, cooperation. They always, put resources together and working together. I always saw my parents do that right growing up. So when it was time for me to do mine, it was easier for me to do it because of what I learned from that.
Fantastic. That's also a great thing because, I mean, teamwork, that's what it's about. It makes the ride more simple when we are doing it together. We are supposed to be together. It's difficult when there are now two captains and one is going left, the other one is going right. How do you steer the ship? But like scripture will tell us that one will chase 1,000. When you now become two, look at the power of that multiplication. It's 10,000. You would have expected it to say 2,000 because you
2000.
are now two, but it said 10,000. So that's a powerful one for a woman. Women hear it, collaborate. It's a team. You people are a team, work together. Oh, fantastic. I'm happy I asked you that question. All right, pick another number.
10.
Question number 10. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I was praying that you will pick this question because I
Okay.
know. Oh,
Mm.
hallelujah. Amen. Glory. Question number 10. Do you have a couple song? If yes, please sing it for us.
Ah,
Okay.
our song.
Woo! Sing your song.
That's
Sing your
nice
song.
thing.
We have
Because I know
plenty. So which one are we going to sing now?
A
Okay,
couple
let's just
song.
sing one.
the one
My
that
love,
go on.
there's only you in my life. The
Oh,
only thing that's bright.
oh,
My first love.
Jesus.
I forgot to do this, but that's our song.
We did it together.
Oh,
I love
that's
the song.
who sang that song
And
again?
I want to share all my love with you. No one else will do.
Okay, so song.
And your
See, lover boy. Hey,
eyes,
Yeah, choir.
they tell
tell
me
me
how
how
much
much
you
you.
care.
But that's not a. Is that a godly song? Why are you people singing? Can I? Okay, forget it.
It's a very gospel, it's a very
Next
godly and
It's
spiritual
about
song.
love. And Jesus is about love.
Jesus is love, and we are singing about love.
holy.
It's a spiritual song.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. Thank you for sharing your song with us. That's a powerful love song. I think a lot of people will love that. Yeah, go on. Next question, please.
Number 20.
Somebody says she feel oppressed already. Go and marry. Don't feel oppressed. I'm not oppressing you. We want to ginger you. So go and marry. I love marriage. It's beautiful. It can work. If there's a sense of responsibility and a sense of togetherness and teamwork, it does work, people. It can work. If we're ready to work at it, it can work. All right. They say question 20. These people. People are just picking simple question. People should pick hard question now. All right. Nicest thing in this 9 years, the nicest thing your partner has ever done for you.
Wow.
Just
I'll go
one.
first. I'll go
One.
first.
Yeah.
Just one thing. And it's consistent to what you have said. Since I married my wife have submitted all her resources, financial resources to me. on a monthly basis. She has not missed a month in these 9 years.
I
All
don't understand.
finances.
And that's
I
the
get the
nicest thing she's done for you.
Are you
yes.
people? Are you? That is,
I,
we're talking about joint accounts, not in the sense of
It's
control.
not joint accounts. I get the alerts for her salary. I get the alerts for everything financial for my wife. She submits everything to me.
yeah, but that's for the general running of your home, right? It's not like
For
she's
me,
giving you
I
the
don't
money
take
for
it
you to go
lightly
do
because
something with
I've
her
not seen
money.
it. I've not seen it somewhere else. So for me, the reason I
Ah,
say it's the
okay.
nicest thing, it has given us speed in our life. We've gone so far already,
Awesome.
and we have no right to be where we are today if not for that 100%
Please, can we
home
clone
experience.
Sister Sarah? Can we clone Sarah? We need to clone Sarah. Ah, brothers, I'm sure people, guys who are watching this are saying, my goodness, let's clone this sister and share her. What? I can't do it. Even me, I not fit. I'm on another verse. I surrender here now. I've
Oh,
surrendered.
really?
Sister Sarah, tell us your own.
Uh,
They're looking shocked. They shocked
he
me
has
now. You
done
shocked me, oh.
he has done a lot of nice things. So, but I don't know which one to pick now.
Anyone that just readily comes to mind that you think we can learn from.
He always put me first anytime he wants to make a decision. I guess you know.
Why will he not put you first when you put all your life in his hand? That these things. It's so okay. I don't want to continue talking about that. Let me not dwell on that, but it's easy for him to put you first.
Again, it was easy for me to do that because of the type of person he was. I knew he was not someone that if I give him all my resources, and he was not someone that would take it and go and use it to do something else, or someone that will spend it on
on a side
unnecessary things. Or yeah, exactly. So it was very easy for me to do that.
babe, your trust level is here. Yeah, I give it
I
to
see
you.
there are many people that are doing that, so that's really amazing and awesome to hear. Yeah,
Wow,
it's
really? There are
great.
many people doing that.
Oh yeah, there are. There are many. There are many.
Wow. I have
And
learned
it's
something
it's
new.
it's it's smart because it sounds to me as though the person that is financially prudent is the person overseeing the finances.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's
that's
not
true.
just enough to say, "Oh, the money is under demand scare." I don't. That's not what it sounds like to me. It sounds more like, "Okay, you are financially prudent, so handle our finances." And it seems you've been doing a good job. Otherwise, by now she would have
Yes,
alternatives, right? So,
yes,
so,
yes.
so exactly.
Am
So
I
yeah.
25 years late?
Ah,
Let's move on. Next question.
okay.
Uh, question 17.
Now, wow. You people should pick hard question. I want people to pick hard question. I'm not picking the cheap one. Okay. This is not too hard also. Well, let's see what you come up with. So question 17, you said, what
Yeah.
is your most effective communication tool?
Mm.
Does it need explanation?
No,
Eh,
mine is my mouth. I don't know what else. Like, no, sincerely, God
Oh
has
my.
probably blessed me with the gift of persuasion. And maybe because of also my training in school, I don't know, but I just feel it's a gift from God. So, as much as possible, with the right words, with the right moment, with the right calmness, with the right environment, I get her into that mood and I tell her the things I need to tell her. I've always worked all my life. I'll be
Hi,
all our life of our marriage. So that's
good
just it.
girl.
Mine is WhatsApp because I don't know how to express myself very well while speaking. So WhatsApp has helped me edit and write and edit and write and edit before I send to him. So you understand.
Do you know? Just discovered. I'm beginning to discover that a lot of couples do that. This WhatsApp thing. Some of the things you cannot really tell this person face to face. You say, "I'm going to go and use WhatsApp to express myself and send the message, or just send a text message."
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well, if it works for you, fine. I
It
think I
doesn't
like.
work. Oh, the WhatsApp thing doesn't work. It doesn't work because the problem is that there's no mannerism to it. So there's a way she can say something like, "Don't say this, David." Now, don't say this, David. She can say it like, "David, don't say this." And to me, I'm interpreting it, "Don't say this, David," and it looks like she's like trying to, So it doesn't always work. Most times, it's easy for her to bring a matter
Express
up through
herself.
WhatsApp. Then we always end the matter of having a conversation because WhatsApp does not. WhatsApp sometimes even make it a bit worse for us because
Yeah, that
you are
I
not
totally.
seeing. Yeah, you're not seeing the person in front of you, so you don't understand what the person is saying well. So
I agree.
mannerism also plays a part.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that because I like that face to face conversation myself. I need to be able to see your eyes when you're talking to me.
Exactly.
And my husband gets, I think he gets tired of me and my, why are you turning your eyes like that? So your eyes telling me something different from what your mouth is saying. I'm talking to you. Listen to me while you're looking at my eyes, because I'm just checking all of your gestures, your hand, your body language as we are having that conversation. For me, I have to see all of that. But don't get me wrong, like it's a good way to start the conversation, like Sarah, like you said, throw the topic out there, and then we can come back and sit down and then have a long conversation or face-to-face conversation about it. Okay, you're doing well, well done. Let's push more questions. Pick a number again.
Question 5.
Five, right?
7.
Yeah, 5 is taken.
Oh, 5 is very simple. It's taken.
I
Five.
thought you've
I thought
already
five
taken
was taken.
5.
Oh, sorry, 5 is taken. Yes, you now said
Yeah,
what?
7.
7.
7. These are the kind of questions I've been waiting for people to ask since. Don't be fearing, sister. You are doing well. Don't worry. You're already doing well. Don't be afraid. Already now you have passed one big test that a lot of sisters will not pass. So just chill and relax and be very, very okay. So question 7 says, what is the one personality trait you would change in your spouse? If you had your way, what is the one thing that's a personality trait that you would change in your spouse?
Want to go first?
Okay, let me go first. Strong head.
Ow! What
Strong
is
head.
that head?
And I was looking for the right English word to explain it,
Please
but
look for
it's just
it.
strong
I
head.
don't know
But
what you mean by
let
strong
me
head.
give me 30 seconds. No, I don't want to use the word stubborn. I will explain why it's not just stubbornness. I wouldn't say she's stubborn, but my wife is tough. My wife
Tough.
is very tough. She's tougher than I am, yes, mentally. If we are faced with, let's say, adversity and a challenge and all that, most of the times I am always jumping up and down looking for solutions. And sorry about that. We have two little ones, and Eden is acting drama, so she has gone to handle her.
Go on.
So back to what I was saying. Most of the times she's calmer. Most of the times she's the even if most of the times I take the lead in looking for solutions, but in the midst of that, you won't, because I see other couples, you see the woman, jumping up and down, fidgeting, nagging, and all that. The
Emotionally
man cannot,
breaking down, crying,
yeah, emotionally
removing
breaking
your
down. That's not
headtie,
Sarah. That's
panicking.
not
Why do
that's
you
not
want to
Sarah.
change that? Why do you want to
Even in
change
labor
that? Because
ward,
that's a
even in
good
labor
thing.
ward, I see other women shouting, "Come and remove this baby! You are put here. You are a useless man," and all that. That's not Sarah.
Okay,
Sarah
so
was
you want
just
her to be
holding.
more. Is it that you want her to be more
Expressive.
emotionally expressive?
No, no, I will explain it. I'm just,
yeah, he's
like I said, I
explaining.
need small time. I will rush
Okay,
this. Sorry,
okay,
I'll rush
okay,
this.
okay. Sorry, I won't
If
rush
we
you
even
again.
have a disagreement, if you don't go and tell Sarah sorry, she's ready to stay. Oh. She'll be looking at you. And the most painful thing is that she's ready to cook for you, ready to come and ask you if you need anything and all that, but she's not talking to you. You know, if you are,
That's my
she's
girl.
just, she's even academically, even in her office, everywhere, she's tough. Sarah is made of steel. And if there's anything I wish to change, there's stubbornness inside that. A person that is all this, they have some, stubbornness in that. So if I'm going to change it, I don't want her to be the opposite of that, because the opposite of that is also a bad thing. I don't
Okay,
want. I
okay,
just want her to shift from where she is now, small, to the middle.
mm,
Sometimes be soft. sometimes be, show small emotion, reduce this toughness. Sometimes I tell her, you're not a man, calm down, it's too. So if there's anything I'll change from her, it's for her to just be in the middle. That's all.
Sister Sarah, me and you were in the same WhatsApp group for that one. My husband have said to me, "You are too hard for a woman." Straight to my face. You are too hard for a woman. And I thought it was a good thing to be a tough woman, to be a strong woman. Anyway, okay, continue. Let me, Sister
I
Sarah,
think
what's
it's a trait. I think it's a trait for first girls. It's
first
something we
daughter?
had to learn when growing up. But anyways, my own thing that I want to change is sensitivity. I don't know how my husband can be here. I'll be cleaning, washing, take care of children, doing that, doing that. I'm obviously stressed, but if you don't come and tell him, David, see, do this, do that, help me with it, he will not, he's not very sensitive to such things. He always wants, it's not as if he's not doing it intentionally, but that's the type of person he is. He doesn't
It
pay
doesn't
attention
see
to
it. And you
details.
see now, I like it, what you said, because now that thing you are talking about now is what we suffer as tough women, as
Yeah.
strong women. So these men always see us as we are strong, we can handle it, we can carry it, we can do it. So there has to be times when, sis, even when you can't do it, just lift your leg and form small code. Code is catching me today, or form small head.
Oh,
Okay, so what did I say?
you
But you
know what you
understand what
said.
I'm trying to
Mm.
Anyway, I just want him to be more sensitive to things.
say? Fantastic. Okay, great, great, great. Emmy, do you have anything to say to that before we move to the next question, which will be
No,
our final question?
no, I don't have anything to say to that.
Okay, one last question before we go to the last final question. What number would you like?
Number 9.
Okay, I like it. Number 9. What is your favorite thing about your relationship?
Okay.
What's the favorite thing about your relationship? I know you've said a lot of things. You've talked about your consistency, the sense of responsibility. But what is the favorite thing about your relationship? And when I do couples counseling, we always call it the sweet spot. That
Aye.
favorite thing is your sweet spot. What is that favorite thing about your relationship?
David,
Yeah. Hi, hi,
Sarah,
what?
you already know where your husband is going. Oh Lord.
Are children watching? Can I say it?
I know
Please
what they're
say it.
talking about.
Please say it.
But it's my most favorite now.
Say it.
It might not
Say
be
it.
your own. It's my most.
Oh
Bro,
my God.
go on and say your favorite. Be free. Let the Lord be.
Uh, my my wife is blessed with some very good assets, and also well skilled by the gods to use those assets in. Come, don't be shy. Come and sit down.
Straight, David.
So I am. If it's in that side, I'm in paradise. Is one of sincerely.
What
I
are
I
you?
don't know.
You're
It's
talking
it's
in
it's
parable.
a
We don't know what you're talking about. What are you
any
talking
married
about?
person that does not understand should go and return the marriage certificate. She's that's the things of the other room, the matters of the other room
My
is
goodness.
she has other favorite things, but for me personally, and if I want to be truthful in this platform, hi, that's my number one. It's always awesome.
Hi.
Anytime I go to that's the Lord's presence. The fellowship is very powerful. Oh God.
Glory.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
So the
uh,
thing you love the most about your marriage is the sexual intimacy.
God
Have I
bless
put
you.
words
Doctor,
to
you
it?
said it.
Amen. Then
You
you
said it
sing
so
it.
well. I love
Okay.
it. I
Okay.
love it. I won't lie to you. I can't lie.
Awesome.
It's wonderful.
Wow.
Great. All right.
Fantastic. Sister Sarah, hey, you're winning awards today. Oh. You're just winning awards. These are areas of challenge for a lot of sisters. And you have conquered both sexual intimacy plus financial intimacy. A1. God bless you, Sister Sarah. The Lord is your strength. Keep working hard. Okay, say your own. She's
I have
blushing
nothing to say.
again.
Oh
Please have
boy.
something to say. David, you've done this super. Sister Sarah, oh yeah, tell us your own.
Our togetherness. I want it.
Which one is and together? Just say it. You know. You know what
Somebody
we are
said,
doing.
somebody
Which
said
one
they
is
want you
together?
to mentor them, Sister Sarah. Somebody's applying to be your mentee, please.
Oh my God. My favorite thing is that the fact that we do things together, you know, the unity in my marriage. That's what I, that's my favorite thing.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
All
Thank
round
you.
unity.
All round
All
unity,
around
right?
unity. Yes,
All
She's
there's
in
round
school right
unity.
moral.
now. We're in school together. I am working in INEC. She's an INEC staff. She was in ATV in Nigeria. I'm an ATV staff. Everything we do are just it's intertwined because so
And that is
it's
how
that's also
and
beautiful.
that
But it's
is
not as
how
beautiful as
it
the first
should
one I
be.
said, please.
That is how it should be. That is how it should be. That is the two becoming one. Whatever is happening in one's life should be happening in the life of the other. Whatever one is going through, I mean, that is marriage. That's the beauty of marriage. So, people, you have heard them. Okay, final question, which is always a compulsory question, and the last question. What is your advice to the unmarried? 9 years of marriage, you should have something to say to those who are not married, whether they are hoping to be married or not. What's your advice to them?
Should I go first? Ah, that's a very lengthy one, and I'll try and
Please,
just make
summary.
it brief. Um, I would advise those that don't marry, especially my brothers following me behind, to one, take the bold step. Mm, don't think that marriage is one very difficult thing the way the world have painted it. Marriage in Christ Jesus is not that difficult. The reason some people in Christ Jesus are looking like they are struggling is the lack of information they have, or they've not gotten to the level where they're supposed to get, knowing Christ. One, so take the bold step. Number one. The second advice I will give is after taking the bold step in marriage, as much as possible, make Jesus the center of everything. You know, as much as possible, if Jesus is the center of everything, you wouldn't find yourself doing lots of selfish things in marriage because he's going to really work with your heart and work with you and work within you and all that. And what else? Go ahead. You will continue the advice. Sorry.
Okay.
Mine is for the ladies. If you want to get married to someone, just be someone that fears God. Um, there are so many marriages out there, and the reason is might be because they don't really have that strong um, God background, God hold. Um, the reason this marriage, like my husband said, we've had several. There are so many people that would have gone through what we've passed through, and they'll call it quits. But for God, it's God that has held us all both together, and just hold it strong. Even when you're having financial difficulty, as long as God is there, you'll be able to pull through. So yeah, thank
Amen.
you.
One more thing. Sorry. Marry your like. Marry your like.
Mm. Say it
Then
again.
marry your like. Marry the one. Just today, I had she dragged me and said we should take some pictures. Me, I don't like pictures. I decided to post the pictures on our status, and I had so many people telling me, this is your younger sister, And this, I don't just know. I was not telling my wife, that's what you done the ugly. That's on the lighter mode. But sincerely, marry your like. If you're in a financial state, my advice is I don't believe you should leave your state and you go for probably a woman that maybe is a billionaire or something. I don't know. It might work for you, but just be prepared with some consequences that you might not be able to deal with. Or you go and meet, maybe you're a normal civil servant, you're trying to arrange yourself, you go to a family where you have to be the one to sponsor the younger one, sponsor the father's business, sponsor this, you break, your back will break or something. And you pour the frustration on the woman and things. So as much as possible, marry your like one. Secondly, when you are already in the marriage now, for those that are already in the marriage, just understand in your mind that there is no better marriage than the one you create. I don't know if I said that well. Yes, I think I said it well. Your marriage is like the bed you lay. Your marriage will give to you what you give to it, the energy you give to it, the sacrifices you give to it, for everything. My wife is, I used to yap her sometimes. My wife is extremely very reciprocal. Like, and I think it's a nature in most women. I've noticed, even when I was studying feminism and all that, feminist philosophy, stupid stuff in school. Um, Women will naturally give you what you give them. So, as a man, you're already a married man. You see your wife as a devil, she will be a devil to you, and you'll be treating her as a devil. She give you devil times two. But the moment you decide in your mind to start treating this woman well, taking care of her, talking to her nicely, talking to her with respect, you know, be like a servant leader. She will respect you. She will submit. She will do everything well for you. Women are, anyway, that's just to add to what I said. Thank you, man.
Fantastic, fantabulous. I think we should just close. Emmy, that sentence alone is a very big sermon. There
Yeah.
is no better marriage than the one you create. The
Yeah.
grass, I always say the grass is not greener anywhere. If you water your grass, then your grass is the greener one. You know,
True.
this, and this is the reason why many people are jumping from one divorce into the other divorce and jumping out and jumping in. Because marriage requires work, and it requires the work of two people, not one
True.
person working while the other one is pulling down. You hear Sister Sarah saying it now. We are together, we do things together, we cooperate, we collaborate. That is always the secret of it, the two becoming one and doing things together. Emmy, 1 minute, your final word before we go.
Yeah, that's you. You actually just mentioned what I would say have as my takeaway from from listening to David and Sarah, which is the power of teamwork. And I thank God, he was really very smart because he quickly figured that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone, and he created a partner. So teamwork has always been the foundation of any marriage that would sustain, or that would go through and succeed. Any successful marital relationship is bordered on teamwork, how we work together, how we collaborate, how we fight our battles together and celebrate our victories together. So, and I think in many ways you both have expressed that particular essence, which I think just shows you're on the right path. So awesome. And hopefully a lot of people have learned from that.
Okay, fantastic. I knew it was going to be a great show, people, because I know these people. Yeah, and that's the cat I'm going to let out of the bag now. I didn't tell you people before, but David is my baby. He's my first son. Okay. Somebody say, yeah. Well, anyways, I used him to learn how to take care of a baby. Actually, he's the last born in my family, so he's our Latogen baby and the Benjamin of our house. And I'm a super proud mama, to see my baby, who is now a man, a full-grown man, talking this way today. And the essence, people, is just to let you know that it can work. It can work. It can
Yeah.
work. It can
Yes.
work. It can work. I mean, next month, I'm talking 25 years. And there has
Wow.
been so many water. Plenty water have passed this bridge. I don't even know how I'm still standing. But like they have told you, if Christ is the foundation of anything, it doesn't sink.
Mm.
The ship will shake, the boat will shake, but as long as Christ is the center, you'll be able to hold. The moment we let go of that center, that's where the problem begins as individuals. The moment one person stops working at it, marriage requires two of you to work together, two hands
Yeah.
washing yourselves to become clean. No matter who you marry, even if it's an angel, you know,
Mm.
the person cannot be marrying themselves alone. There's a
Mm.
limit to which they will continue to push and push, and then they will get tired as a human being. You both have to work at it. And as many who are willing to work at it, with God on our side, we can count 50, we can count 100, we can have a happy home. We will fight, but we will settle, we will make peace. Thank you for coming to the show, David and Sarah.
Thank you for
I was
having
really
us.
looking forward to sitting with you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone who joined us. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you to my co-host Emmanuel for always being there. I don't take it for granted. Next Sunday is our last Sunday of the month, and it's our Q&A. So we're gonna be here to answer some of the questions that have come in this month. And if you still have a question, just go to our page on Facebook. There is a WhatsApp number there. Send us your question, and we'll be sure to answer it very, very anonymously. Don't worry, we're not going to expose you. People will not even know you were the one who asked the question. And we'll come here and, by the grace of God, be able to give you some guidance and some leadership on what you can do to enjoy your marriage as God, not just your marriage, all of your relationship as God will want it to be. Anyways, until we come again next week, have a love-filled week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.